Good evening. Thanks for joining us at Awaz News. I'm Kubrali, and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
New details released about incident involving replica toy gun at Toronto School. Ontario Integrity Commissioner and Auditor General to investigate Greenbelt development. Nearly 200 stolen appliances recovered by Peel Police. Ford reiterates municipalities can make up for loss of development charges by cutting waste. Zellers is returning to Canada. Here's where the GTA locations will be. Police looking for a man wanted in sexual assault investigation on TTC bus in Toronto. Ontario couple in their 80s found dead outside home after late December storm.
Those were the headlines, and now let's jump through the details.
A student who brought replica toy gun to a middle school in Etobicoke on Tuesday allegedly showed it to other students in the boys' bathroom. The principal of Lenore Junior Middle School shared more details about the incident in another letter to parents and caregivers on Wednesday. Robert Negro said the student who was shown the replica weapon reported it near the time of dismissal. He added that he confiscated the item and confirmed it was a toy. He said there was no threat to the safety of the school community as the toy gun was immediately seized. The school was not put into lockdown. Negro noted that he later learned through his investigation that more than one student saw the toy gun. No further information will be released about the incident as it is being investigated by Toronto Police, but Negro said, "Please rest assured we are taking every step in line with our policies and procedures to ensure our school remains in safe learning and work environment for students and staff." Toronto Police told CP24 on Tuesday that officers were called to school for robbery but did not provide other details. Ontario Premier Doug Ford reiterated Wednesday that he believes revenues lost by municipalities because of breaks for some developers in his housing plan can be made up by finding efficiencies at city governments. The Ford government's housing plan reduces or eliminates municipal development charges for developers building some housing types that are in short supply, such as larger units and rental and affordable housing. The fees are not being eliminated altogether, but staff at a number of municipalities have projected that the changes would nevertheless amount to a substantial blow to their coffers. Housing Minister Steve Clark has indicated the province will help municipalities make up the shortfall, but has said the province will audit them first to make sure that they aren't wasting money. Critics have charged that the province is taking money out of the pockets of already cash-strapped cities in order to pay for a housing plan which gives breaks to developers. But speaking to the group in Mississauga Wednesday, Ford asserted that there's waste in all levels of government that can be eliminated to help pay for the plan. He recalled his time as a city councillor in Toronto when his brother Robert Ford was mayor. While it's true that Rob Ford managed to save the city hundreds of millions of dollars in his term, city staff later clarified that his predecessor, David Miller, had done so as well. Most recently, Toronto has had to scrounge to balance a budget already hammered by a massive revenue shortfall brought on by the pandemic. The city recently announced its highest tax increase since amalgamation, and Toronto Mayor John Tory has warned that the further loss of revenue from development charges represents a significant threat to Toronto's finances. The Ford government has characterized a lack of housing in the province as emanating from municipal bureaucracy. Just a few weeks ago, the Premier lashed out at Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie after she said that the city may have to raise taxes in order to make up the shortfall that Ford's housing plan would bring about. But other municipalities have warned that they might also have to raise taxes to make up for the costs of province's housing plan. Ford said the Housing Minister Steve Clark is working on a timeline for when the audits of municipalities will begin. Nearly a decade after it closed its doors nationwide, Zellers is set to return to Canada. The Canadian retailer announced Wednesday the planned locations of 25 Zellers stores experiences within Hudson's Bay stores across Canada. According to the company, the physical locations will be accompanied by the first ever Zellers e-commerce site, zellers.ca. In the Greater Toronto area, there are 3 planned locations, one in Erin Mills Shopping Center in Mississauga, one in Scarborough Town Centre, and one in Burlington. The full list of Ontario locations is as follows: Erin Mills, Mississauga; Burlington Mall, Burlington; White Oaks Mall, London; Scarborough Town Centre, Scarborough; Penn Centre Shopping Plaza, St. Catharines; Cambridge Centre, Cambridge; Ottawa, and Kingston. The company says all locations across Canada will open simultaneously along with Zellers.ca. The stores are expected to be between 8,000 to 10,000 square feet depending on location. Police have recovered nearly 200 stolen appliances that they say were stolen from warehouses across Peel Region. Peel Regional Police were first dispatched to a commercial logistics warehouse in Brampton on January 7th after receiving a 911 call indicating that several suspects had been loading a truck with appliances. Police say that investigators were able to identify the suspects and subsequently executed a search warrant at a Mississauga business. A total of 176 appliances that were stolen from 3 separate warehouses were recovered during the execution of that search warrant, along with a prohibited handgun and quantity of ammunition. Police say that the stolen goods are worth more than $350,000. 2 suspects are facing charges in connection with the investigation, but police say that they believe there are more people involved. Devon Taylor, 41 of Toronto, is facing 6 offenses including theft over $5,000. Anderson Rambulam, 42 of Toronto, is charged with possession of stolen goods over $5,000. Toronto police are asking for public's help after a woman was sexually assaulted on a TTC bus. The incident happened on January 13th at around 8:50 p.m. near Eglinton Avenue East and Victoria Park Avenue. Police say a woman boarded a westbound TTC bus on Eglinton Avenue East when a man who was already on the bus approached and sexually assaulted her. The suspect is described as 5 foot and 10 inches tall with a slim build and in his late 30s. He was wearing a black jacket, blue shirt, black pants, and brown dress shoes, according to the police. Police have released an image of suspect and are urging anyone with information to come forward. Both the Ontario Integrity Commissioner and the Auditor General will be opening an investigation into the Doug Ford government's plans to develop the Greenbelt. Auditor General Bonnie Lysyk told CTV News Toronto that her office will be starting a value for money audit into financial and environmental impacts of the removal of more than 7,000 acres of previously protected land. Lysyk told CTV News Toronto last week that having a request from all 3 leaders added weight to her decision to investigate the claims. In the joint request, Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles, interim Liberal Party leader John Fraser, and Green Party leader Mike Schnell argued that the removal of those parcels of land as well as the repeal of the Duffins Rouge Agricultural Reserve Act will shift wealth to property owners and have detrimental impact on parklands and the local ecosystem. The final scope of the Auditor General investigation will be determined in the next month or 2. The Ontario Integrity Commissioner has also said it will be opening an investigation into whether the province's housing minister tipped off developers ahead of revealing their plans to open up the Greenbelt. Commissioner David Wake announced his decision in a report released late Wednesday afternoon. In the report, he said a request made by Stiles was found to have reasonable and probable grounds for investigation. In his decision, Wake said the provided by Stiles was extensive and included both media reports and direct evidence. Separate but civil request made by Schreiner was denied by the Commission. In the request, Stiles argues that Housing Minister Steve Clark contravened the Members' Integrity Act when it came to the decision to allow development in the Greenbelt and Duffins Rouge Agricultural Reserve. The 2 sections of the act in question cover conflicts of interest and the use of insider information. In the report, Wake writes that both Premier Doug Ford and Clark have denied that either had disclosed the land selected for possible development to a developer. Stiles said that her complaint included reports of improper lobbying in addition to a breach of Section 2 and Section 3. The Ontario Provincial Police Anti-Rackets Branch confirmed Wednesday it is still reviewing complaints being made against the Ford government in order to determine if they will investigate further.
This was all from us today. I'm Kubra Ali, and I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.